Hello and welcome back to a Mad Men Big Finish review, a video series where I review one of the latest Big Finish releases. I am joined with Professor Pixel. He has no headline, he's just Professor Pixel. Name only, not a professor, stolen valor.
I'm just like the Doctor.
I'm just like the Doctor. I'm the professor of everything.
I'm the Doctor of Cheese.
Doctor of Cheese, but we are here to talk about, I'm going to have to say the full name for this because it's quite a long one. Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Chronicles, Volume 5, Everywhere and Anywhere. The best series that Big Finish has ever made.
The only 4-box set series that has worked.
Yes.
Really
but not using the same name, though.
Yeah.
But yes, we're here to talk about Everywhere and Anywhere. It's the latest box set for the Doctor Chronicles, particularly with the 11th Doctor and Valarie. It is comprised of 3 stories. We'll talk about them. Spoilers. I say especially the last one. I want to talk about.
If you don't want spoilers, go listen to it.
Listen to it.
This isn't an option. Do you like the 11th Doctor? Yes. Do you like Doctor Who? Yes. Why aren't you listening already?
I'm not asking you. You will. But no. So yeah, Everywhere and Anywhere. Starting off with our first story, Spirit of the Season by Georgia Cook. Christmas. It's Christmas at the time of the recording. For me, it's 4 days away. For Pixel, it's 5 days away.
It's 4 days.
Because I live in the future. I live in Australia. But it's almost
the 21st
Christmas
now. It's 2:00 in the morning, Chris.
Oh, okay. So 4 days for both of us. I'm sorry.
I'm dying inside.
But yes, we're starting off with a festive story with Spirit of the Season. Pixel, your thoughts on Spirit of the Season?
Is it any surprise to anyone that I love Christmas specials?
No. You've got on record for saying they're the worst Doctor Who themed holiday specials in existence. This is a very big surprise. No, we love Christmas specials.
That's like saying the 6th Doctor is Jimmy's favorite Doctor.
But no, we love Christmas specials.
So a Big Finish Christmas special, one that, I mean, a little callback to A Christmas Carol with was nice too. This is a really nice, lighter story. This one's light
compared to the next 2. Yeah,
the next 2 get really heavy. This one is dealing with trauma, and it's, oh my god! I just remembered I was walking home listening to this first story, and I was almost tearing up at the end of this one. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All of these are traumatic. Very sad.
It's so funny. Well, not really funny, but it's interesting to note these all are dealing with trauma in some way, and this is the lighter of the 3.
Yeah,
I think because it's Christmas, you don't really want it to be that big of a downer. So
I absolutely adore the fact that they are leaving it kind of open, because at the end of this one, like most of these adventures seem like they're pretty cut through, but we know they have more. They have these small windows. They're going out, they're doing things. Okay, we have this window. This is one of those adventures that are absolutely necessary because this is going ahead and touching upon Valarie's grief about her mother. That's what this episode's about. And the Christmas season, them stopping by somewhere for Christmas, that brought a memory of, I used to have a good time at Christmas with my mother. It brings back old memories, and it's touching on the heart. The side characters are interesting. They're nice. But you don't, I feel like they might be the weaker element of it, because
I was fine with them. I like the side characters.
I only cared about Friar Tuck for for a little bit.
I like the side characters. They're interesting as well. They worked really well with this story. It's
what do you think of Clara?
Sorry?
What do you think of Clara?
No.
Girl Clara.
I thought it was fine. I liked it. Clara. as the villain of this.
Yeah.
Considering it has technically kind of been some time, because that's the whole premise of this era of the Doctor Chronicles, is that it's 11 looking for Clara. So I feel like it's like, okay, we got to remind people that this is what he's actually doing. Like, he's actually looking for Clara. So to meet a Clara, it's an interesting concept, and it's but no, Clara is the villain, the Archeon, as we find out what it's called. I liked it. They're playing on the people's trauma and all that.
I
Good concept.
found it really neat. It's one of those concepts. I love a house that changes. It's one of those just neat things, like, oh, suddenly we're in a room that doesn't belong here, and it's built off of their memories and feeding off of that. That's very neat. Sometimes they gave Clara a gun, though, and that just felt a little weird. It was like, what? Give me back my gun! No! Fuck off!
My brother in Christ, you created this reality. But no, she works well as the antagonist to the story.
It's also interesting to the Archeon device, because that's what this is. This is basically a mission to go ahead. Oh, we need this. They hook it on, Archeon device. Neat. The whole concept about it, being able to make an alternate reality within it, house it inside, so it's not the same thing. Though I know when they use the word multiversal, I could feel Chris's eyes almost start to roll.
I'll let it pass. I'll let it pass. Just for the Doctor Chronicles, okay?
So good. What are your thoughts on this episode?
Don't mention it again. I really like this. I really like this episode. Georgia Cook. Previous story that I've listened to that she wrote was in the recent Gallifrey War Room, and I believe I will have to definitely fact check this. It might have been the second or third story, because I know that their partner Theo did one of them. It was the second story, Remnants, and I really enjoyed that story. It was a fantastic story in Gallifrey War Room. So to see that she was doing another story for a series I've been really enjoying, I was like, yes, and I think she nailed it. Yeah. This is a really good intro to this box set, because it's reminding us of the premise of this era of the Doctor Chronicles, and it is setting something, and looking for Clara, and to set up a device that is being used, and that is kind of central to the next two stories, or at least leading into the next two stories, and then central to the end of the last story. So, and also, dealing with Valarie's trauma, like, that's good. That's really good, because we kind of saw a different kind of trauma she was dealing with in Broken Hearts, but I feel like we didn't really get that in any of the previous box sets, because it's a big deal. Her mother dying. So, it's Christmas. Usually, Christmas time is happy. Think back on all the good times, enjoy it with family. But the thing is, she doesn't have her family anymore. She's just got the Doctor.
Yep.
So I think it's a good episode with Valarie as well.
But at the end, her not mom tells her, "You go find that girl and you take her on a date." And that leads us into our next episode.
Our next episode, All's Fair by Max. I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. I'm sorry, Max. Kashevsky. I'm sorry. Everyone take a shot from Chris mispronouncing a name.
Kashevsky. I think Kashevsky is right.
Kashevsky?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Chicago, World's Fair, 1893.
Little razzle-dazzle.
I think this might be my greatest ick. I don't like kissing noises.
It's weird to hear. I will say it's weird to hear it as like just audio only.
Okay, that's enough.
That's fine enough with it.
It's like it's a little weird.
That has nothing to do with the story. The story
not at all. The story
what did you think?
is great, Because you're on a first date with someone special. You're going around, you're seeing amazing things, and then your husband appears.
Yeah, so the revelation is that in the future, Valarie gets a husband, and at the end of the story, Valarie dies.
Yeah.
Future Valarie dies. So now the Doctor is stuck in this situation where he and also Valarie, that they know that Valarie needs to come back to this and will eventually die. That is,
And her girlfriend's going to go through some trauma too.
yeah. And come on, I wanted a happy ending for Valarie and for Rowena.
Yeah, that's
You
not
have to
happening.
ruin it, Max. How dare you?
Though that I'm going to talk about a little bit about, because this whole episode is very good. It sets up a mystery. Oh, who's Maria? How do you solve a problem like Maria? You don't. She destroys your life. Maria is actually the first villain all the way back.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I'm like, should I remember who Hendrix is?
Yeah.
And then I had to look back, and I'm like,
Nobody.
oh yeah, she's the villain from the first ever story in Geronimo.
Yeah.
That's a nice little like
That should be
like
back. And
callback.
they talk about like their key goal is destroying the Daleks,
who will be in the next box set. So, I do like that it is bringing stuff back, continuing it to lead up to this finale.
And the thing is, they almost had an aha moment at the end when Valarie dies. The 11th Doctor's in denial because
I really liked that scene.
I was falling for it. I was like, oh, he.
So was I. I thought like, oh, this was actually the case. But then he goes back. Then he like scans the body with his sonic screwdriver, and then he's like, hang on, I'll be back. And he goes to the TARDIS, and he's like, what do you mean?
No,
it's not a robot. And he's like, no.
Actually,
because we got to remember, this is 11 that has went through this entire time dealing with having lost Amy and Rory, having lost his family, and then he's got this brief glimmer of hope with Clara.
Talking about the pawns was like, oh,
yeah. Oh. And then now he's with this new companion, Valarie. They've gone through so much together, and the fact that it's much like the pawns. He knows that she's going to die, and he can't do anything about it.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I have to go back to Spirit of the Season when Clara started talking to 11 about, this is the skull of Amy Pond. Oh, poor Amy Pond chucked it. This is the skull of Rory. And Rory. And Rory. So many times. It was hilarious. Oh my god.
But no, All's Fair is great.
So
it's a really good, engaging story with just all these twists and all these revelations. Everyone's perfect in it. And I felt so sad and happy for Valarie and Rowena.
But can we really say that it? Oh yeah, don't you love it? The 11th Doctor is really the only one who has a confirmation at one point during an episode. A character is getting laid tonight. Oh, okay. Amy and Rory, they're getting laid. Valarie gets laid. Okay.
Socially awkward 11, never change.
He's not doing it. He's not doing that. But that is. In All's Fair, the husband mentions adventures, so they're real. Mentioning the Sontarans, which we've never experienced a Sontaran adventure. So
I don't think we will. I think these are just like off.
Because it's saying that this era is ongoing. It's like there's
many adventures that have happened in between these box sets.
Big Finish basically giving themselves, we can write a short trip here.
Hey, if Jacob Gutman wants to come back, like we got some stuff. Which I hope so, because I'm loving the series.
I think Valarie dying at the end, the Archeon device that they're using to hopefully track their mystery caller, I think that's going to come into play. I think we might get like a river song kind of ending.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I think so, because
considering that one of the stories in the box set is about Valarie dying. Like,
yeah, the next one.
Like,
Rip
like
Valarie.
here lies Valarie Lockwood died, but like in the wrong year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is this the best story? That's questionable, because
That's a question.
the next story is really, really good.
No, the epitome of save the best for last. Much like with technically the previous box set, not Broken Hearts, the previous box set, all of time and space, save the best for last. We might be the madmen, but then Alfie Shaw's a madman. But doing it again, leaving the best for last with Sins of the Flesh by Alfie Shaw.
Is your child exhibiting sinful behavior? Have they set themselves on the road of eternal damnation? Has everything you tried failed? Feel like you're out of options? Don't worry, we can help. Bring them to the Rebirth Organization today. Bring them to be converted.
Finally, what I love. Good Cybermen stories that understand what makes a Cybermen story work.
Yeah.
The basis of the Cybermen, the fear of technology overwhelming. The whole point of them is that they're not technically evil. They just think they know better for everyone, and that is to be like them. They think everyone being the same like them, having no emotions, having a essentially near immortal body, is the best thing. That's why upgrading means you're making something better. Because I watched a video recently by Orwin that's called Doctor Who Keeps Getting the Cybermen Wrong, and the main basis is that they just keep forgetting that idea that the Cybermen are supposed to represent that core concept that they started with back in the 10th planet. Humans that have just melded metal to them as a way of preservation to survive, to prolong their life, and that's what they want for everyone. That they think that this is a kindness, that making everyone like them to keep them alive. So,
yeah.
Sins of the Flesh does that, but adds a manipulating a religion to do that, because it's. I also listened to the interview for this, and because it's not just also an allegory, it is literally about conversion therapy in both the sense of Cybermen conversion and actual like real life conversion therapy, because they really it's not even hammering it, it's in the story that you like someone of the same gender, that's a sin. We need to convert you into a redemption suit to make you better, to fix you. So I really liked this whole angle of the Cybermen manipulating a religion to convert people, like, because it's working in the Cybermen's favor of like they're becoming like us. We are making them better, and they legitimately believe that.
You want them in a template. Yeah, basically. Yeah, they want them to fit that mold. And like when, oh man, turning off the emotional inhibitor is the cruelest thing you can do. They're evil, and obviously it's an easy way to destroy them, but it's painful. And 11 says so. He's like, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Usually, yeah.
And then also like the whole what was the character's name? Macintosh. He's the leader of the organization, I believe.
Yes.
I think it's Macintosh. Him like legitimately. This isn't like for him to be it's not a scam. It's him legitimately believing this is actually real. So playing off like a lot of like you have like certain like religious groups or like cults that like think like what they're doing is real. It's like, I touch you on the head and you're free of cancer because I have the power of my God on my side. And for him, he's the Cybermen have coerced him, have tricked him into legitimately believing this, even though a lot of what he believes in is, I wouldn't really agree with a lot of his beliefs, but he is someone that legitimately believes that he's doing good by doing this. So I think that was also handled really well. Just everything about Sins of the Flesh is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This could be.
Okay. This is going to be my controversial moment. The reveal of, oh shit, I was caught by Alexander was a little. It was like, oh okay. Like one moment he's trying to go ahead. I will convince you. Blah 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 blah. And Eleven says, "Yeah, but why is your emotional inhibitor on?" And then he's like, "Oh shit." He just goes ahead and gives up. He's like, okay, you got me, hands up.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it.
I really enjoyed this. Sins of the Flesh, probably one of my favorite stories of this range. It's hard to top Curiosity Shop and Broken Hearts, but it's definitely third place for me. Like top 3 stories of this era of the Doctor Chronicles. I enjoyed it so much, and just to have a really good Cybermen story after, like, essentially they're being reduced to they're just minions now. They're just minions for the Master or whoever else the story demands.
Yeah.
Just kind of forgetting that core concept about the Cybermen. So,
and we had a good Cybermen story actually with 8 too. Recently, I think the Great Cyber.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was fine, but it's still that one's more okay than this is great. This is fantastic. This is up there. This is close to, like, not close to Spare Parts level, but close.
I don't think anything will top Spare Parts.
No, it will never top.
When it comes to Cybermen story, nothing's unfortunately topping Spare Parts. Except for maybe I don't know. Yeah. Audio wise, it's not top. It's at the audio wise is at the top of Cybermen stories. But this is also a really fantastic one as well. It's just everything about it. It works. It works. It's engaging. I just really was fascinated with this story, and
yeah.
Damn you, Big Finish.
Damn you for taking my money and giving me good shit.
Yeah, damn you.
Like I said, at the end of this is the first time they have a 4 in a row that was in that. I know you're saying like Stranded was Stranded 1, 2, 3 for 8, but everything was following this format for a while of this 4 in a row. This is going to be their best example of it. Like, they don't have a series that's ongoing that is consistently this good. It's insane.
It's so insane, and the fact that it's not continuing, which I'm kind of. I honestly, I'm torn. I would want them to do more of this, but at the same time, maybe not.
Because maybe they can't remake that magic.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, what else does Alfie Shaw produce?
Oof.
Because is this like his first time producing a full series of anything?
No, he's done stuff. He did the 10th Doctor Chronicles that came out this year. He's worked on the 2 recent War Master series, War Master box sets.
Did you listen to Time Apart? That was a 5th Doctor anthology series. He's producing that 10th Doctor. Yeah,
I don't remember.
He produced Volume 2 of the 11th Doctor Chronicles, which the Chronicles series are just not. This works because it's not the other Chronicles. This works because it's a classic season, in a sense. It captures the spirit of, Moffat's season. Like, it captures the spirit, And it's able to actually do a little better because every episode is good. It's less episodes.
Oh, to be fair, this is
less.
During Series 7, which wasn't his strongest.
There were still good episodes.
There were still good episodes, but it's not his best series, like,
No,
in my
it's not.
opinion. So it's good to see, like, this is like, I think we coined it at the same time, whereas, like, was that Series 7A? I think we called it, or Series 6, or Series.
Series 7A is when the pawns go away. This is between A and B.
We coined. It's funny watching one of the videos or one of the interviews. Alfie Shaw also said the same thing that we coined about, like, calling this era of, like, 11 in between Snowmen and Bells of St. John. So it's just so funny. We had a similar idea of, like, naming conventions of the series.
To be fair, we have to go back to the people who came up with the theory for season 6B for 6B.
I think we called it like 7A2 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's just so
I'll have to go watch out Broken Hearts.
Sad that we only have one more, but I'm so excited. It's going to be like that's a scary thought to say that. Oh, this is definitely going to stick the landing. This is definitely going to be good. I have a feeling that it's going to. They haven't let us down.
It's been consistently.
They threw a random adventure to deal with trauma, and it still was off the charts. Great. It's like
probably only, at least for me, only 10 out of 10. And I rarely give out 10 out of 10, even for stuff I really like. Yeah. Closest I will ever get is like 9.5. But Broken Hearts was a 10 out of 10.
What makes this so great is that this has the spirit of classic Big Finish, which they felt of freedom. They could make their own companion. They have this span of time to play with, that they have to go ahead and allude to what's to come and what's before it. But they're able to deal with it in a way that's great. I also got vibes of, which I know people won't enjoy, but when he's talking about, I can't lose you, to Valarie, later on, 12 goes through that with Clara. I can't lose you. I got to keep. You are my everything. But Valarie understands what's to come, and it has accepted it. She's really a great companion, isn't she?
I know. Safia does a fantastic job.
Yeah. And
I will say, like, I cannot see Valarie working with any other Doctor. No. Like, Valarie can only work with the 11th Doctor. Just Jacob and Safia, like, the dynamic between the two as those characters is so strong. It doesn't work. It's like, I don't know what other Doctor companion duo would have that same feeling. 2 and Jamie. I can't see Jamie working with.
This is 2 and Jamie. This is 2 and Jamie brought to new.
Yeah, I can't see Jamie working with another Doctor. Even with that brief time he was with the 6th Doctor, I can't see him with another Doctor. It just doesn't work. It's just not the same.
And yeah, it's gonna be so hard to see this end.
Yeah, the end of the series.
So fantastic, just fades away. It really is. What did we rate the last ones? I always think we go 9.
I think I gave
9.
Well, Broken Hearts already said I gave it 10. I think All of Time and Space, I think I gave it a 9. I think it was a 9, I believe I gave it.
I might have given it a 10.
All right. So what would you rank this one? What would you rank Everywhere and Anywhere? It's tough, isn't it? Yeah.
It's 9.5.
9.5.
9.5 because it is really so good. It's so good, but there's just
it's no Broken Hearts.
Well, I didn't rate Broken Hearts a 10 out of 10. You did that.
I
I
did.
like Broken Hearts for what it is, but there's a reason why that's a 9, because it's still even like great performances, great writing. It's just with the heaviness of it, it has weight that's not okay. I can't rate it for this because it's dealing with something that's specific. But this one, I think it is a 9.5 because it's just 3 traumatic stories, one after another, and they do it so well. It's fantastic. Once this is over, I will want to go back to Geronimo and just listen the whole way through to get that full feeling.
We'll have to do once Victory of the Doctor's out. We'll have to do like a retrospective on this series.
Just an excuse for us to listen to it all again.
Listen to it all again. Exactly.
More reasons to ignore the rest of the Big Finish catalog that you've built.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I've not made any improvement on that. Maybe a 1% improvement, but that's not a lot. For me, I would also have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like all these stories are fantastic. Georgia Cook, Spirit of the Season, great, solid opener to set up everything, followed by a Max Kashevsky's All's Fair, brilliant, and you end it on an incredibly high note with Alfie Shaw's Sins of the Flesh. Just chef's kiss for this entire box set. There is nothing like it on Big Finish.
It's the best of the best right now.
It is legitimately one of the best series that Big Finish has ever produced.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could ever replicate it.
It's insane how they pulled this out of. They pulled it out of. Okay, well,
they pulled it out of this
our
very
11th Doctor. So
yeah, they pulled it out of this very small gap between the Snowmen and the Bells of St. John, and they've made it work so much.
Magical, truly
Absolutely.
Magical. And
everyone that has worked on this box set, the voice actors, the crew, the writers, and every box set should be proud of what they're doing, of what they've made, because it is stellar storytelling. It is stellar work.
And when you start each episode and you hear Big Finish for the love of stories, now you believe it.
I can believe it with this.
This one you believe.
This is for the love of stories. You can tell everyone really cares about these characters. Everyone really is invested in these characters and picking these stories to have in them. Because it's funny listening to the interviews, like the Christmas one was supposed to be in the next box set, and they're like, actually no, it's not going to fit with what we're going to do with that box set, so let's bring it over to this one instead. Which I think, considering what the next box set is going to be, I think that may be a good choice, considering that's already 4 stories in that box set. So
I think that's the key thing with this series. I think this is the one that they sat down. Okay, well, Jacob Dudman's leaving. Let's go ahead and make this final part of the Chronicles the big one, the big adventure. So they sat down. They carefully crafted every story beat that was important. The Archon device, which is going to come back. Husband going ahead and setting the death in the middle of this one to go ahead and get ready for the end. Oh,
February.
Really did it
wait till
special.
February.
How dare you make something this good? How dare you?
Just, Mr. Shaw, I don't care about Pixel. Can I just have Victory of the Doctor early, please? Please. I'm begging you, my man.
Excuse me, Mr. Number 1 Paradigm Disser. I don't think so. Paradigm lover since the beginning. He liked one of my tweets when I mentioned the Paradigm Daleks coming back and my hype for it. So eat it. Eat it. It's next month, isn't it? January?
February.
Okay. We have a little bit of break before we break all of our hearts.
Well, not really a break. We have a first Doctor Adventures third.
Yes.
So we got another exciting thing followed by another exciting thing.
If I don't get Noonan's review of a review in our next review, I will be heartbroken.
We'll leave that for that review. But okay. Yes, 9.5 out of 10 from both of us. High recommend from me. I'm going to assume same from you. For anyone that has been listening to the Doctor Chronicles, definitely pick this up. And if you haven't started the Doctor Chronicles, start with Geronimo.
It might seriously be one of the best series to recommend to somebody. Do you want to get into Big Finish? It might just be that, because it's, I mean, I say that, but it could be like, start them with the best. Well, why aren't the other stories like this? Because you started with the best. We have to say, we're giving it 9.5, but that's because 10 is just, it's hard to say something is a 10. In our hearts.
Well, it wasn't for me last time, but yeah.
For broken hearts, no. Okay, it's hard for me. I have very few, 10 out of 10s, and this, it feels like it, but I'd have to sit on it. And I listened to it all today, so. But 9.5, because these stories really are so great, each and every one of them. You love the Doctor. You love the 11th Doctor. This is it.
Yep.
This is what you need. But that's it.
Yep, that is it for our review of Everywhere and Anywhere, the third box set, but fourth release of this current era of the Doctor Chronicles. Go check it out. Go buy it. Go support them. 100%. Incredibly talented folks on the Doctor Chronicles range. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for any of our future reviews. Stay tuned for our weekly live streams as well. Make sure to go check those out. And we both will see you in the next one. Alonzi.
Geronimo.